Alright, day 2 of solving quadratics and solving equations. Everything today is going to be quadratics and then radicals. So with a quadratic, there's basically 4 different ways that you can solve. You can solve by factoring, okay? You can solve by completing the square, you can solve by quadratic formula. Those are all going to look very similar, okay, in terms of there's going to be an x squared, there's going to be an x, and a constant. Then there is solving by isolation. That is when you do not have an x value. That is whenever I would use isolation. So the first one we're just going to go through is just by factoring. So if I look at number 12, first thing I want to do is get everything by itself or onto one side. So I have 2x squared plus 7x minus 4 equal to 0. So anytime that I have a trinomial of a quadratic, I want to try and see if I can factor first. So it doesn't matter to me how you factor. If you want to make the box and we multiply a and c and get negative 8 and then 7. So there are 2 values that we can multiply together to get negative 8 and a 7, so 8 and negative 1. So if you're going to do it by grouping, which is fine, if you know what it's going to be, that's even better. So if I have 2x squared plus 8x minus 1x minus 4 equals 0, group the first 2, so 2x, I have 2 plus 4, which is left, so that means the other one has to be an x plus 4 equal to 0, so negative 1. So once it's factored, it's 2x minus 1 times x plus 4. Now, here's where you can make this a lot easier. Anytime you have it factored and it's in binomials, all you have to do is just go what I call opposite of the back. So opposite of negative 1 is positive 1, divided by the front. So x is equal to 1/2. Do the same thing again, opposite of the back, divided by the front. So the front is a 1, so 4 divided by 1 is 4. And you are done. Now you can single each one out and you can solve 2x minus 1 equal to 0 and solve, and you can do x plus 4 equal to 0 and solve. You're going to get the, excuse me, this should have been negative 4. You're going to get the same value. Now, even if we look at one like on 13, where I have 3x squared minus 7x plus or equals 2x. Move the x over. So I have moved the 2x over, and I'm going to have 3x squared minus 9x equal to 0. Now, there's no constant. That's okay. Factor out the greatest common factor. So 3x, and then I have x minus 3 equal to 0. Set each of these equal to 0. So if 3x is equal to 0, x is going to be equal to 0. If x minus 3 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 3. Just because you don't have a constant doesn't mean that we can't do it by factoring. Okay? If you can factor is probably going to be the easiest way to go, if you can do it, because it's going to be nice and neat and easy numbers.